Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening here. As you can see, the melt is back on. Finally. Not only that, we're into the swing of lambing. I say we're into the swing. We've had our first one. That doesn't really mean... It could be just like this snow. It could just be fool's lambing. We get one and then we got to wait for 2 weeks. And we've had that. Definitely a few times we've had that where you think you're into it. And now the first one's just early and the rest just make you wait. Anyways, got to fill up the water jugs, pack some water over to the ewes, and then I'm going to bring a couple square bales back for the rams that are in behind the shop here. And I think we're going to go play pickleball tonight. I did rip into Keddy's today because last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, the wife was searching for one of these, and all she could find was the bottle, no lid. So we don't know what happened there. I don't know where the lid just disappears to. It's probably somewhere in this absolute chaos. Anyways, picked up a couple more of these. These are like $10 a piece. And fingers crossed, we don't want to use them at all. But that one triplet was kind of cold, kind of neglected a little bit. Just needed a little bit more of a boost. I did give everybody just a mouthful of syrup before I come in the house, and seemed like everybody was good. But yeah, by 1 o'clock in the morning, it was kind of feeling the dip, feeling the temperature dip, the energy dip. So she gave it a belly full of milk, and that was just grand. But yeah, for a fella that doesn't really enjoy going to town too much, I like spending time at home right here on the farm. For a fella that doesn't like going to town, it sure is a good thing that I work in town and I go there every day, because especially this time of year, because there's so much stuff where you just think, oh yeah, we're good, we got that. And then you go look in the cupboard, like we were asking about selenium. Well, we're going to give selenium. Yeah, I don't need to buy anymore. So while I was at Keddy's, I just bought another bottle of it, right? Well, I come home and I got next to a near full bottle that's good until April 2025. So yeah, that'll get us through the whole season for sure. So don't really know what I'm going to do with all this. I'll give it to my father-in-law, probably to his calves or whatever. But I had another bottle in there that expired in 2020. So not prepared. Well, I got the girls their grain treat there. We're going to pen them up a little bit early this evening. If I were to bet who's next, I'd say it's Duchess right there. Yellow ear tag in the back right there. That's Charlotte's ewe, actually. Born on the same day, her and Charlotte. And it's funny, that was the coldest day of the year. Minus 43, February 21st. We had to bring a couple ewes into the shop because it was so bitterly cold. And that was the year that the ram got away. It had complete disregard for a fence. So there we were, end of February, lambing in the hospital, lambing at home. Thank goodness we had farm sitters that could kind of watch and take care of that whole show. But yeah, so kind of cool. I give Charlotte the lambs off that ewe every year. And then Finn's is Annabelle, which is this big one right here, this big Suffolk ewe right there. Who knows when she'll come. I think she's just fat. On another note, the other day we did run through, speaking of going to town, we ran through the PV Mart for one last walk through just to see what dregs of a sale they had. And I picked up a couple of these sprinklers with a flow-through base, and they attach directly to a T-post. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I could stage a couple of T-posts strategically throughout the garden or somewhere else, rig that up and sprinkle that whole area. And then it got me thinking about homestead, proximity to trees, wildfire preparedness. And I thought, man, that would sure be a real handy tool to have to set up around your yard, quick and dirty, pop on a T-post, throw a hose in, wet it down if you had to bug out or something like that and you just wanted to save your property. So we're going to try that this summertime. We're not going to light the yard on fire by any means, but we're going to set these up and just see how big of a area they'll cast across, how much water they'll throw. And maybe, just maybe, because just because PV Mart closed doesn't mean these aren't available anymore. I'm sure you can find these. This is a Melnor T-post metal pulsating sprinkler. So we're going to check it out this summer. Before I do that though, I do have to replace the garden hose tap on the outside of the shop here. That one did freeze, and it didn't split the body of the valve, but it actually like just tore apart the guts of the valve. So I got a whole new one. It's sitting in the house. It wasn't very pleasant last weekend, so I didn't get that done. Maybe next weekend. Anyways, we're gonna pack up, head to town, go play some pickleball. So I'll let you go for now. Hopefully you're having a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.